To switch from Universal Analytics to Google Analytics e-commerce tracking, you need to start by setting up a Google Analytics 4 property. This is because Universal Analytics is being phased out and Google Analytics 4 is the new standard for e-commerce tracking. First, go to the Google Analytics admin section and click on Create Property. Then select Google Analytics 4 and follow the setup wizard to create your new property. Once your property is set up, you need to install the Google tag on your website. This will allow you to track user interactions and send data to your Google Analytics 4 property. Next, you need to set up e-commerce tracking in your Google Analytics 4 property. To do this, go to the admin section and click on e-commerce settings. Then toggle the e-commerce switch to on and select your currency. You also need to set up a data stream for your website. This will allow you to track user interactions and send data to your Google Analytics 4 property. To track e-commerce transactions, you need to use the Google Analytics 4 measurement protocol. This involves sending a purchase event to Google Analytics 4 whenever a user completes a transaction on your website. You can do this by adding a small piece of code to your website that sends the purchase event to Google Analytics 4. It is also important to set up enhanced e-commerce tracking. This will allow you to track user interactions with your products, such as product views and add to cart events. To set up enhanced e-commerce tracking, you need to add a small piece of code to your website that sends product data to Google Analytics 4. Best practices for switching from Universal Analytics to Google Analytics e-commerce tracking include testing your setup to make sure it is working correctly and monitoring your data to make sure it is accurate. You should also use the Google Analytics 4 debug view to test your setup and make sure it is working correctly. By following these steps, you can switch from Universal Analytics to Google Analytics e-commerce tracking and start taking advantage of the new features and capabilities of Google Analytics 4. Remember to test your setup and monitor your data to make sure it is accurate and to get the most out of Google Analytics 4 e-commerce tracking.